Matisse, how you feeling?
Yeah, I'm good actually. It's nice to be in another final. It's about time that we right the wrongs of recent history. So I'm hoping that with Colwell back, Reece James back, closer to a strongest starting 11. I don't know about the goalkeeper. I'm waiting on the presser tomorrow to pray that he'll be back as well, because you know how much I don't really rate Jorgensen's shot stopping. But yeah, man, I think obviously I was watching the City game and seeing them rest pretty much nearly everyone is unfortunate, because I was hoping that they would go strong, still chasing the Prem, but they decided to go otherwise. But here's what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's a one-off game at Wembley. We've lost enough of them to know that anyone can surprise you on the day. So it's just time for us to just turn up. It's the last game of the season in terms of salvaging something from the season. The Tottenham game on the Tuesday, obviously that's a bit of fun. Oh, the presser was today. Sorry, I didn't even clock it because I was busy all day, but usually it's on a Friday, so I'll check that out. If Sanchez is back, then fantastic. But yeah, like I said, the Tottenham game is more fun. You know what I mean? But this is the game where we can get Europa League. This is the game where we can win a trophy, get a little bit of something from the season. Even though it's been disastrous, it will still remain disastrous even after potential success in the cup, in my opinion, because the league performance has just been so poor. But I'm looking forward to it, man. I think if you're not looking forward to a Wembley final, you're finished as a supporter. Do you know what I mean? Most supporters up and down the country can only dream of this. So never take it for granted. And I will not be, considering we've lost the last 6 of them. So we pray. We pray.
Yeah, though. What one-off game? Why not? Pep rested though.
He did.
He rested a couple.
He did. I think. I don't know how they're going to approach it, because if he's leaving, which it seems like he is, boy, they don't need any more motivation in that dressing room to send Pep out the right way. I think a Carabao Cup is incredibly underwhelming. I think a cup double can never be underwhelming. I know in the context of the title race, it's going to seem that way, but I think you still need to, as a fan, know what a cup double is. It's still 2 out of 4. Might be the most insignificant out of the 4, sorry, but it's still 2 out of 4. That's 50% hit rate. So I think if you're not happy with that, then that's when it's getting a bit mad. So for me, they've got a lot of motivation. Bernardo Silva's obviously last season. Stones is last season. So it's crazy over there. For us, boy, I don't know how much more motivation you need than just looking at the league table. You're behind Brentford, Bournemouth, and Brighton. You know what I mean? If you don't want to put some respect on your own name, let alone the club's name, after all that, then boy, you're cooked, you're cracked. So it should be. I think it's just going to be competitive. Like I said, we're not favourites. We know that. Man City are going to have probably more of the ball. I don't know what system we're going to play. We might go with the back 3 again, because we got no wingers. Again, I don't know what was said in the presser if some people have come back in terms of the wide areas, but they're not great anyway, those players, I'm not going to lie. So we might go in the back 3 again and just try and hit them on the break. But Kuzanov is incredibly quick, so it's not even a great plan necessarily. You still need to have a bit of the ball, I think, relieve a bit of pressure. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. And to be honest, I think Steve, he's you know, City fans keep saying it. They've been to Wembley enough times over the years. You know what I mean? Coming all the way down from Manchester. Hopefully, from a crowd perspective, we're louder than them, because we need this a lot more than they do from a fan base perspective. So I'm hoping that kind of is the equalizer between the Pep last season and also the crowd. But let's see. Why? I don't understand what you're smiling about.
I think you see something in the chat.
Nothing, bro.
Pep
Nothing
definitely wants
to
to. Yeah.
You smiling?
He's allowed to smile now, man. We can't
allowed to
release
smile.
No. Not when I'm speaking about Chelsea. It's always.
I didn't say anything. I didn't disclose anything, so I'm not saying anything, bro.
Yeah.
We can't police everything he does, man. Like, let him smile, man. Let him live a little bit.
No, man. After the video we recorded on Tuesday, I mentioned a certain right back, and man, them were cackling. So I'm looking forward to when that drops.
No, meowing.
Now I'm watching. Now I'm watching people. It's you know.
We meowed.
We're
And that
meow.
wasn't-
Man were
It
meowing.
wasn't, it wasn't
Meow.
at his level.
And they
It
were
was-
meowing.
It was at his entry in comparison to the names you could have given. That's all. So,
Facts. Yeah,
To be
yeah.
honest, at the time, I'm trying to think of the names. I was gonna go Carvajal, not to spoil, but
Okay, let's not give it away in here.
You know, I mean, like, I don't know, man. I
Yeah.
still feel a bit of respect is needed, but it is what it is.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued with this cup final. You know, I totally random, neutral. You know, don't have a dog in a race or horse in the race, whatever you want to, however you want to put it. I think it could be closer than a lot of people think. Obviously, people are thinking, Chelsea, man. You know what I mean? This and that. But I think it depends on the injury situation with you guys and who's coming back. For example, the likes of Reece James. And the formation he played or he's thinking of playing, apparently the rumors are that he's going to stick with the 5 at the back or 3 at the back, however way you want to look at it. I just think it might suit your players a bit more. I think that 3-5-2 or whatever you want to call it with Cucurella and Gusto or Reece James as the case may be, or Reece James in a middle 3 and keep Gusto as a right wing back could suit you guys, man. Because I just think it frees up Cole Palmer a little bit more, and that's what you need to do, man. You have to try to get Cole Palmer influencing a game of football because that's when he's at his best. And I just think he might turn up. I know we've been saying, where's Phil Foden? Phil Foden. We're gonna touch upon him as well. But I think Cole Palmer, hopefully, might have something to say about this final.
Yeah, Reece James can't play wing back. He just
No,
can't.
not in his age, yeah.
Physically, he just can't do it. We're taking too many risks. As much of his crossing, his passing, his shooting, all these things are great assets when he goes forward. We just can't have him from an athleticism standpoint just going up and down like that. So I think put him on the right side of the back 3. I think the battle between him and Doku is going to be very interesting because Doku's been murdering people recently. And I know Reece James, out of all right backs in this country, is one of the few that can actually put him in a padlock. Maybe Timber as well, but not many. And yeah, I think, listen, Cole Palmer, man, boy, you're up against your former team at Wembley, big stage, big game. I need something from you, man, because it's just been Enzo Fernandez and João Pedro recently going forward in terms of goals and, you know, big moments. I need something from this guy. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, your record isn't the greatest at Wembley. I can't lie to you, man. Your record is terrible. I think when was the last final you won? Was it against us? Wasn't it 2018?
Yeah, 2018 Hazard.
Yeah, that's dark, man. And Pep Guardiola's lost 2 in a row, Palace and United. So I think he want to go on a high, man. Whether it's his final season or not, he can't be going out with a Carabao Cup. A big Steve telling us, it's been a good season. You know what I mean? Like, no way. No way. But then again, you guys need to do something. You need to give the fans a little bit of hope. You need Europa League football. This might be your best chance to get Europa League football.
It is.
Do you know what I mean? Because, boy, right now you're looking at getting 10th maybe this season. So Chelsea need that financially as well, Europa League as well. You know what I mean? I just think you must. Like, this is we've not used this frame for a long time, you know, guys, man. You must. This is you must Chelsea rise because it can be done on a one-off game. We weren't particularly great with the Ten Hag in that last season, but for some reason he put Amrabat in midfield, and boy oh boy did Amrabat perform. Garnacho caused problems. Mainu rose in that game, so it can be done. It's just how many players are on form in it. Like you just said there, Reece James and Madden. I didn't see Caicedo rise. Caicedo's had a poor 2026. He needs to step up. I thought Levi Colwell came in. I can't lie to you. He did well against Liverpool.
Levi Colwell looks like he's not been away, and I was like, wow, they did really. I mean, we joke and we banter, we cuss, you know, Chelsea and blah blah blah, but that was one player they missed this season, man.
Yeah, but I think for me, all in all, I think Man City are gonna win it, but Chelsea have to give them a game and make it competitive, because I think the way that Man City are playing right now with Doku and them, man, I think they might be too much. But Chelsea have got to show, man. They've got to rise. You know what I mean? Like, you can't be this weak and spineless team that go into a final and just get outplayed by Man City. You've got to be able to be competitive and give Man City a game. And yeah, like, you know, believe, because I seen a lot of Chelsea fans in London, and they were just like very, very like there's a lack of belief, man. And I get it because your team has been poor, but it's still a final, you know. It's still a final, you know. So
Yeah,
it's got to be something, man.
I'm surprised
no,
everyone's been so like. I'm
Right.
surprised everyone's just. I don't know. Maybe I'm out of touch with that, but it just feels like Man City are expected to win and Chelsea are expected to lose.
Bro.
For me, competing is not really enough. You need to win. No one remembers losers. Do you know what I mean? You just need to win. It's as simple as that. As Tobe says, just win.
Just
It's a final. If you lose, yeah, of course.
Is there pressure on you?
Yeah,
Must-
absolutely,
Must you?
absolutely.
But is it a must?
Listen, for me, I think every final is a must because that's just the way my brain works in terms of what Chelsea should be doing in the big stages. That's what we kind of built our history on, was the cups. We weren't winning the league consecutively, consistently. It's the cups, it's the European cups, it's the FA Cups, Carabao Cups, Carling Cups, whatever you want to call them. So I think it is a you must. But it's difficult to say you must when you know the team that you're playing is pretty significantly better than you, like very obviously better than you in all departments this season. I don't know if Rodri's back or what's going on there. Maybe Steve will say that when he gets back. That's a big deal. I don't know what's going on there. If he's not back, then that's obviously a big deal for us. But it is kind of a you must in a way, because it's like if you don't, your season you have nothing to show for this season. It's literally just been one big waste of time. If you don't leave with something, it's just been one massive waste of time. There's not a single positive apart from João Pedro's goal tally that you can take from this season. Really, there's nothing you can take. You don't get no European football. You're financially even more fucked than you was before. You don't get a stronger leg up in the managerial search, in the player search in the summer. You have nothing to show for it. So I think the players should be thinking it is a you must. If they have plans in their head that they can potentially just pick up runners' medals and disappoint the fan base again, then boy.
I don't know. You know? What's worse for the owners? We're winning it or not, and how badly do you want them out? I'm not saying you don't.
No. Yeah.
The you must context that it's always used is. It's not about a final. The final, of course, is do or die, 90 minutes, whatever, extra time. It's the bigger context. Like, does it change anything for the better, or does it potentially actually kick the can down the road and make things not worse, but keep things plateaued at the same level now? Because then the reflection might be, all right, we won trophies last season, we won a trophy this season. What's the problem? Like that's how it might be looked at from their perspective. Not that it gives you final. Like winning FA Cup is not going to give you hella money to cover what you're potentially going to lose. But if trophies is if it's all about that, then that's 3 trophies in 12 months or 13 months or whatever.
If they see it like that, then they'd be very dense, because they know how important Champions League qualification is, even though it's not something that I like to lord up. But especially when there's 6 spots going, it's disgraceful, absolutely disgraceful not to get it. So to get it one time in 4 years, and especially if Brighton qualify, you've equaled Brighton in 4 years of your ownership. You've equaled the team you've tried to mimic. They've got 1 Champions League qualification. You've got 1. There's no other word for that but disgraceful. In terms of the fans, this is a great situation for us, because for me, it's absolutely impossible that you can look at this ownership even slightly better than you did the previous day just because of an FA Cup win. It has absolutely no bearings on my opinion towards Blueco. No bearings on my opinion towards the ownership and the directors, the recruitment, all these things. This is for the fans. There's no big prize money. Europa League, you're still UEFA restricted, which is probably even more detrimental to the window than if you had no Europe at all, because you would just be going off financial fair play in the Premier League, which is more looser regulations and rules, whereas the UEFA restrictions that we're under are a lot tighter. And the Europa League money is pretty shit as well, to be honest, in terms of revenue. So it doesn't help them financially. It doesn't help us at all from a club, status profile perspective, in my opinion. It's just for the fans. Fans leave with something. We get a trophy, we get a great day out, we get just something. Do you know what I mean? And I think for any of the top players that are in the team that have a winning mentality and want to lift something, then they get something out of it as well. Because they've, not all of them have been horrendous. A couple of them have actually tried their best to put this team in a decent position. But yeah, this FA Cup win, I think the ownership would care more about Champions League qualification than the FA Cup, because I'm sure you know, like the Emirates era, you know, under Arsene Wenger, the top four was always the priority because of the money it's going to bring in, because of the revenue it's going to bring in, the gate receipts, all these things, whatever. So I don't think they're going to be able to look at an FA Cup win and say and try and pretend like that's a job well done. It just wouldn't make any sense for them. So yeah, man, I think this is as good as it gets. I think if you're up against your ownership, leaving with cups is as good as it gets, because you're getting something out of it, and they're still pretty screwed because of their own poor performances. So
percentage wise, what do you think your chances are?
30.
If Sanchez is fit, I'd say 35% our way, 65% their way. I think something around that.
What about you, Tom?
Sanchez Neuer.
No, he's not. But Jorgensen is absolutely garbage. I don't know if you saw the goal that we conceded against Liverpool to Gravenberch.
Sanchez Neuer.
I don't know if you've seen. You know,
Jorgensen is bad though. To be fair,
you know, that Gravenberch goal went in, and these men, you know, started screaming from the top of their lungs like it was an absolute world class strike. And then when we watched the replay, once again, you see this guy is shot stopping is just absolute arse. Can't save shit. So
Very good. I think it's 70-30, to be honest. I'll be shocked if Chelsea win it. But that being said, the last time this McFarlane guy went up against Man City, he actually caused them problems. I can't remember the lineup City played that day, to be honest, at the Etihad. But I remember leaving that watching that, thinking Chelsea should have won. Man City are fortunate to have snuck a point, but I feel like Pep has tweaked it, in the words of Steve, over the last 2 months. And there's a set system he's playing, there's a set lineup he's playing. Of course, the difference here is probably Rodri, but Guehi at the back, Kuzanov at the back, the fullbacks, O'Reilly and Nunes. The midfield is the midfield, with exception of Rodri, of course. But I just don't see Man City losing. I can see Chelsea probably giving it a better go than they did at that pathetic game against Man City at Stamford Bridge. I think they'll be much better there. They'll definitely be up for it in parts. I think personal pride has to kick in, and when personal pride kicks in with quality players, because they do have some quality players, then naturally the team are going to play better. But I think Man City have got too much for Chelsea. They can keep the ball better, they can score more goals, they can defend better. I think it's going to be a win to City. I can't see Pep Guardiola losing this game. I just can't.
Even the bench as well. The bench options as well that Man City have got. Mamouche off the bench.
I even forgot Chelsea.
Odin. You know what I mean? There's players off the bench, man. I don't know, man. Chelsea, have they got really depth? Who's their wingers? Have you even got any wingers playing?
No, we don't. Not to my knowledge. Unless, even if the guys did come back fit, it's Garnacho, isn't it? So
yeah,
that's why he's changed the system. You see, because of the lack of actual wingers that fit fit in form, he's had to use wing backs. I think it's going to be closer than what Toby thinks. I don't think it's 70-30. I would say 65-35, 60-40 maybe. But again, it depends on if Colwill can go again. If Reece James is fit and able to start, because that midfield, if for example, if it's like a Caicedo, Reece James, and Enzo in midfield, then that's a good midfield. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, on paper it is.
Yeah, that's Caicedo, Reece James, and Enzo. That's a good midfield, and then you got Palmer and Pedro up front. That's a team that you can see. Not necessarily giving them problems, but sort of being more closer to City. Otherwise, if it's like your Garnachos on the whatever, City will just.
What's your percentage?
65-35. I'm gonna go with.
I don't know. I don't see any lower than 80-20.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But why is that wow though?
That's fair. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a final. It's just a final, innit? And Chelsea got good players. They're gonna be up for it. The motivation factor.
But no one pride kicks in thing Like, why didn't it kick in when it's time for champion? That's, playing in Europe is also
Facts.
a great thing for the players, no? So where was the pride then? So I don't really see how it's just gonna, especially when City are actually, in pretty good form, scoring goals. Like Saeed said, now that Foden comes in, he adds impact. He does a little something. Shirky's already been doing something. So I don't see how it's any less than 80-20, if I'm honest. Like, I don't know.
To be fair, what was the percentage you reckon going into that derby final, Steve? You know what I mean? Like, Man City were the favourites then, like in that aspect, and we had Garnacho. You know what I mean? Causing them problems. They have Cole Palmer. Problem is though, it's they should be like with Cole Palmer and them, man, be much higher in the conversation, but they're just not producing it. They're not producing the sort of quality, and that's the problem. A lot of their players are off form. Cucurella's off form. Caicedo's off form. Cole Palmer's off form. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, there's only what's it called? Enzo Fernandez and João Pedro. The only two you would say that are in form right now. So there's a lot. There's a lot to do, man.
For me, the form it goes out the window in the FA Cup final. I've seen it with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Wigan beat us in the FA Cup final. Crystal Palace beat us in the FA Cup final. Man United team that was mid-table beat us in the FA Cup final. It's a sink or swim game for certain players. You only have to have a few of yours having an off day and a few of theirs thinking, you know what, I'm on it today. And it can change. So for me, FA Cup final is all about who wants it more. I've seen City with Carlos Tevez, Sergio Aguero, Vincent Kompany, all them boys get beat off Wigan with Ben Watson because Wigan wanted it more than us. Because players were outrunning us, fighting like fuck on the pitch, wanting it. So I'm not saying Chelsea are going to outfight us or anything, but they've got the quality to hurt us if they want to be on it. You know what I mean? So I'm just looking forward to the game. After losing the last two cup finals on the bounce, I ain't bouncing around in here being cocky with it. We just need to get it done. Can't lose 3 FA Cup finals on the spin. I've said before, we've given away cup finals, in my opinion. We've given them away. Last year, though, that Dean Henderson thing pissed me off. But when you're online, you can't come in here and be honest and say it pissed me off because everyone say you're just whinging and crying your ass out. So it is what it is. But if that happened to anyone else, you lost a cup on it. You know what I mean? The 10 men in a cup final. But it is what it is. We've just got to go out there, win the cup. Like you say, it's not been a bad season up to now. 2 cups in the bank. Going into the last 2 games of the season, still, there in the title race. For City fans, I think we're more than happy with the way it's gone at the minute.
What about you, percentage-wise? What would you say?
I'm just being honest. I feel like a cup final is a 50-50 game. I mean, last year,
the last 2 finals, I get you.
What percentage would you give Crystal Palace last year? We would have been on here going 90% City lost.
Yeah.
The other year against United, they were crap. United mid-table crap. City were knocking it up. It was like, yeah, Man City are coming to town and all that. What happened? United bopped us. So for me, I'm just literally like, win the game. As a neutral, you guys looking in, you probably got your own opinions. But for me, my ass flaps it a little bit in the FA Cup final. It does. I think to myself, fuck, that Wigan one. I remember just being stood there. And when he scored that goal at Watson, I just sort of, my heart broke, but I just laughed to myself and I thought, wow. Because part of me, in my weird, twisted way, thought we deserved that. And I thought I was happy for the Wigan fans because I thought, you know what? Fair play, man. That's a dream come true for them. And but we're not giving no dreams away on Saturday to Chelsea. They don't deserve it. So nah, man, we've got to win.
It's mad how we're speaking about Chelsea like this, though. Do you not think, guys? Like this is not like David and Goliath, guys. Man, this is still Chelsea.
That's what I'm saying. There's too much of a David. You're right. You're right.
You're right.
Speaking about Man United like this the same way, no? Before.
No, I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like with the money you spent, yeah. Like we had a couple of youngsters on that team that day. This is a lot. This is a team that's heavily spent a lot of money, and the way we're talking is almost as if like they're the underdogs in a sense. Like it's
they are the underdogs.
They are the underdogs, but like the quality gap shouldn't be this big, though. It shouldn't be. That there for me is where the conversation. The quality gap should not be this big.